Theron and Sherry Font say it was a whirlwind of emotions when their son Benjamin called from a New Orleans rehab center. It was late August 2022. They were preparing to welcome their first grandchild out of state and unable to make the hours-long drive to pick up Ben. They called the next morning to check on him, but were told he walked out.
He did not make an effort to call our cell phones after that.
The Fonts tried to reach their son, even called agencies in Jefferson, Orleans, and other surrounding parishes, but had no luck, so they took off to New Orleans to search for him.
We went and searched, and we talked to a lot of people, a lot of homeless shelters, homeless people under the bridges.
They also put up flyers and filed a missing persons case in several parishes, narrowing their search to the New Orleans area. Sherry Fonts tells us she had a routine. Every day on her way to work, she'd make calls. She did that for 8 months. On May 12th, Sherry made her daily calls, one to the Orleans Parish coroner's office.
She said, "Let me check," and she put me on hold, and then she came back and said, "We have him here."
The Fonts learned their son was found dead after overdosing on September 24th, just a month after he left the rehab center. Sherry then was told his body had been cremated only a month later. Not only do the Fonts say they weren't notified of Benjamin's death, but they claim in the 8 months they believed he was missing. They called the coroner's office multiple times looking for answers. Now the Fonts want to know how this happened. Why were they never notified of their son's passing? And why did they cremate him without consent? The Fonts say they were told Benjamin's last name was spelled incorrectly, and that's why no one ever gave them a call, though he was identified through fingerprints because of a prior record. In records we requested from the coroner's office, the misspelling is acknowledged, but they declined to explain how the error occurred. We asked for a timeline. When was Benjamin identified? When was the misspelling caught? When, if at all, did they attempt to notify family? The coroner's office declined to share any additional information. We requested the policies and procedures regarding notification of kin, identification of bodies, and cremation of unclaimed bodies. We were told no, that those documents of how the coroner's office operates weren't public record.
They're dealing with our emotions, our loved one, and they don't care. They don't seem to care.
8 months of searching met with devastation and even more questions. The Fonts say their son was a caring person, had a love for music, and they were able to give him a proper funeral. Jade Moreau, 7 News.